Patterson Library friends, this is Miss Amy, and I'm here to read stories with my preschoolers today. My Tell Me a Story story time is all about families. Now last week was Thanksgiving, so you probably had a big Thanksgiving feast with some of your family. I want you to think about your family. We think of our families as the people we live with, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, brothers, sisters, even our dogs and cats. But we also have more family, maybe people we don't live with. You might have lots of relatives who either live near you or, like me, who live quite far away. I have relatives and brothers and sisters who live all over the United States. I used to have a brother who lived in Japan. So you can have family, whether they live with you or not, that you still love and you try to keep in touch with. And today we're going to think about our families, and we're going to think about things we like to do with our families. So while you snuggle down and get ready, we'll sing our good morning song, and then we'll have some stories to share. Ready? The more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. For my friends are your friends, and your friends are my friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. One of my library family friends is old Pete, and he is here, and Pete knows it's been getting snowy and colder. So he has his hat and his scarf on. Pete, you're gonna need to bundle up even more if it keeps getting this cold around Westfield. Yeah, I know. So Pete, as you know from our Pete books, has lots and lots of friends. He has family friends who are other cats and all sorts of other animals. So today, I think we'll start with this big book that I have over on the easel. It's called Peter's Chair. So Pete, you sit back and get ready for a fun story. And think about who's in your family while I'm reading about Peter and his family. Peter's Chair is written by Ezra Jack Keats. This book's been around quite a long time. It's a really great story, so I'm sure you'll like it. Can I leave it down that low, Mr. Austin? Okay, I'll pick it up a little bit. How's that? Okay, there we go. Peter's Chair by Ezra Jack Keats. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it over this way. I'm going to rearrange a little bit so we have it comfortable. I have to go this direction or I can't hold the pages as well. And it's a really big book, so you can see it well. Crash! Down it came. Shh, called his mother. You'll have to play more quietly. Remember, we have a new baby in the house. Have any of you had a new baby in the house? Or maybe you have a new baby coming? If you have, you know you have to be a little bit quiet. Peter looked into his sister Susie's room. His mother was fussing around the cradle. That's my cradle, he thought, and they painted it pink. Oh my. Sorry. Hi, Peter, said his father. Would you like to help me paint Sister's high chair? That's my high chair, whispered Peter. He saw his crib and muttered, my crib, it's painted pink too. Not far away stood his old chair. Well, they didn't paint that yet, Peter shouted. He picked it up and ran to his room. I feel like running away, Willie, he said. Peter filled a shopping bag with cookies and dog biscuits. We'll take my blue chair, my toy crocodile, and the picture of me when I was a baby. Willie got his bone. They went outside and stood in front of his house. This is a good place, said Peter. He arranged his things very nicely and decided to sit in his chair for a while. But he couldn't fit in his chair. He was too big. His mother came to the window and called, won't you come back to us, Peter dear? We have something very special for lunch. Peter and Willie made believe they didn't hear. But Peter got an idea. Soon his mother saw signs that Peter was home. That rascal is hiding behind the curtain, she said happily. Do you see his shoes behind the curtain over there? But when she moved the curtain away, he wasn't there. Here I am, shouted Peter. Peter sat in a grown-up chair. His father sat next to him. Daddy, said Peter, let's paint the little chair pink for Susie. And they did. Peter wasn't very happy that Susie got his old crib and his old cradle and was getting some of his other things, and the family was repainting them just for her. But then he realized, didn't he? When he tried to sit in his chair, what happened? He couldn't even fit. So even though we may not always like to share, when Peter thought about it, he knew that sharing his new things, his old things with his new sister was really a very sharing, kind idea after all. Peter's chair. Now I wonder what you do with your family, and if you share a lot in your family, maybe when you have some clothes that you don't fit anymore, you share them. Maybe you have a tricycle that you can pass down when you get too big to a new little brother or sister. We have one series of books at the Patterson Library that I just love. And I'm just going to show you these. I'm not going to read them today. But Todd Parr writes some of the most fun books with some of the most fun pictures. We've read some of them for story time. So I just thought I'd show these in case you want to come in and check them out. I have the Grandma book, the Grandpa book. We also have the Family book, which I don't have in front of me, the Daddy book, and the Mommy book. So if you want to read some really fun family stories, do come down and check some of these out. Next week, we're going to read stories about cookies. So if you want to get a cookie ready to have for a snack, I guarantee you the stories I read are going to make you feel hungry. So you might want to make some cookies before next Friday and be ready for some cookie fun. Then we'll be doing some other holiday stories a couple of weeks after that. I can't believe it's already December. Wow. If you didn't pick up a November goodie bag, there are still some waiting up there. And because we're reading family stories this week, I draw a picture of your family, and you can do anything that you like to do together with your family. There's also some rhymes, and I showed you some of the other things that were in there last time. So I just wanted to remind you, you can still pick up your goodie bag for November up at the front desk with Joni. Now, not every family is exactly alike. This story has one child who is very, very noisy. Noisy Nora, written by Rosemary Wells. I wonder if someone in your family is noisy. We have lots of books about families from Rosemary Wells, too. Jack had dinner early. Father played with Kate. Jack needed burping, so Nora had to wait. First she banged the window, then she slammed the door. Then she dropped her sister's marbles on the kitchen floor. Quiet, said her father. Hush, said her mom. Nora said her sister, why are you being so dumb? Jack had gotten filthy. Mother cooked with Kate. Jack needed drying off, so Nora had to wait. First she knocked the lamp down, then she felled some chairs. Then she took her brother's kite and flew it down the stairs. Oh my goodness, she's getting into mischief. Quiet, said her father. Hush, said her mom. Nora said her sister, why are you being so dumb? Jack was getting sleepy. Father read with Kate. Jack needed singing to, so Nora had to wait. "I'm leaving," shouted Nora. "I'm never coming back." And they didn't hear a sound but a tra-la-la from Jack. Father stopped his reading. Mother stopped her song. "Mercy," said her sister, "something's very wrong." No Nora in the cellar, no Nora in the tub, no Nora in the mailbox or hiding in the shrub. "She's left us," moaned her mother as they sifted through the trash. "But I'm back again," said Nora, with a monumental crash. Maybe they got a little annoyed with Nora's noisiness and craziness, but when they didn't hear her, they got very worried. And look how happy they are, even though she's making a huge crashing mess. Sometimes it's hard to wait to get attention from our family. Sometimes we like to act out or make a loud noise to get attention, don't we? Especially children like Nora. I wonder if you know anybody who's a little bit like Nora. I'm going to read one more story, and it's called Snuggle Mountain by Lindsay Lane and illustrated by Melissa Awai. This would be a great one to read at bedtime. Snuggle Mountain. Emma stands on her tippiest tiptoes and looks up. Today is the day she is going to climb Snuggle Mountain all by herself, all the way to the top, and wake up the two-headed giant who's caught in the sleeping spell, which causes all living creatures, especially two-headed giants, to forget about making pancakes for breakfast. Emma reaches for a rock to pull herself up, but the rock isn't a rock, it moves. It rises up in a four-legged cat-like stretch and yawns, as if it too is caught in the sleeping spell. Then it curls up in a crevice and goes right back to sleep. Emma's halfway up Snuggle Mountain when she hears a snuffle, an upside-down, paws in the air, doggy kind of snuffle, as if a dog is dreaming of crunching biscuits, as if it too is trapped in the sleeping spell and can't wake up. Lump by bump, Emma inches her way to the very top of Snuggle Mountain. Way up here, she can hear the whispery sighing and the rumbling snoring of the two-headed giant. Snoring is a bad sign. Snoring means the giant is deeply asleep. And if the giant is deeply asleep, then Emma must climb into the giant's sleeping cave. And if Emma climbs into that snuggly cave, she might get caught in the sleeping spell herself. Very carefully, crouching atop Snuggle Mountain, Emma leans forward and peers down at the two-headed giant. All she can see is its two heads. One is covered with wild poked-out hair, and the other has soft flowing hair. Psst, whispers Emma. She leans so close her hair tickles the giant's two noses. Slowly but surely, all four of the giant's eyes open. "Wake up," says Emma. The giant raises its two heads, moans a great moan, and plops its two heads down again. And before Emma can say another word, Snuggle Mountain shakes, and Snuggle Mountain quakes. Peaks become valleys, and valleys become peaks. Emma tumbles down Snuggle Mountain and lands right in front of the giant's sleeping cave. Have you figured out where Emma is yet? Hello? Is anybody in there, says Emma, peeking in just a teeny bit. Even from the outside, Emma can feel how warm and cozy the cave is. She scoots in a little and she tickles the giant with her toes. And then she cuddles up next to the giant. Before she knows it, she's feeling a little sleepy. As soon as she closes her eyes, her stomach grumbles. Then it roars. Emma is hungry, gigantically hungry. She scrambles out of the cave. She knows what will break the sleeping spell. "It's time for breakfast," she announces, opening the curtains. So loudly, the giant pokes its head up out of the cave. You see the giant? Milk, she yells, and the snoozing cat climbs out of her crevice. Biscuits, she shouts, and the snuffling dog bounds to his feet. Pancakes! Emma's voice trumpets from the peaks of Snuggle Mountain as Mama and Papa sit straight up in bed. Emma leads the charge to the kitchen. Behind her, the cat and the dog and Mama and Papa thump downstairs. She's done it! She climbed Snuggle Mountain all by herself, and she has broken the sleeping spell. Hungry as a mountain climber, Emma sits at the breakfast table, watching the pile of pancakes on her plate grow as tall as Snuggle Mountain. It's her favorite breakfast in the whole world, and now that Emma knows she can climb Snuggle Mountain, she might have pancakes for breakfast a lot more often. Now you can see one thing Emma likes to do with her family. So maybe when you pick up your goodie bag, you can draw a picture of what you like to do with your family. Emma likes to have pancakes and climb the monster mountain, which is her parents. Maybe you can draw a picture, and if you can, take a picture of it and have your parent post it on our Facebook page after the link for today's story time. That would be really fun to see what you do with your family. Well, that's all I have this week. So I hope to see you next week for some cookie stories, and you have a great week. Thank you.